Hello from Seoul, South Korea. I'm now taking the Airport Express train to Incheon International Airport and I'll be flying with Philippine Airlines. This is the Manila Flyer and let's see how it goes. For those who are not familiar, Philippine Airlines is the flag carrier of the Philippines and is ranked 4-star by Skytrax. It operates twice daily flights between Manila to Seoul and it also has flights from Cebu and Clark to Seoul. Philippine Airlines operates out of Terminal 1. Check-in open at 5 p.m. for the 8:25 p.m. flight and there are 5 counters open for economy class and 3 counters for business class passengers. If you compare this to Cebu Pacific, that they only open 3 to 4 counters to check in all passengers, resulting in longer wait times. Terminal 1 is really huge and it has a satellite terminal which is accessible by an underground train. You could also get to Terminal 2 by that train which is home to Korean Airlines and other SkyTeam airlines such as Delta, Air France, KLM, and many more. Here at Incheon International Airport, you could spot various aircrafts and airlines. Therefore, it's a good time to go plane spotting. If you're a frequent flyer with PAL on this route, you'll notice that PAL almost frequently uses gates 42 to gate 50 while Cebu Pacific and AirAsia uses gates at the satellite terminal. For today, the gate is 47 and it's a long walk to get there. A little bit of airline news. Delta Airline will start flying between Manila and Seoul by March 2020. This will replace their current flight between Manila and Tokyo Narita as they shift their hub from Tokyo Narita to Tokyo Haneda Airport. So, by next year, you will see a total of 11 daily flights operated by 7 different airlines between Manila and Seoul. Our plane for tonight is an Airbus A321 with the registration RP-C9929. It is configured with 12 business class seats, 169 economy class seats, and 18 premium economy class seats which are sold as economy. PAL usually uses their A330 for this flight, but today it was swapped out for an A321. Boarding began with business class passengers, then the rest of economy class. It is very organized with people lining up properly and proper announcements were made clearly. Although it took a while for everybody to get boarded since the flight is totally booked out. I remember that only 3 seats at the back of the plane was left unoccupied. Already at my seat, there was a fluffy pillow and a blanket to tuck me in for the flight. PAL A321 does not have seat back monitors wherein you could stream your IFE. Instead, they have the My PAL player app, which I will show you a bit later. There is the large and sturdy tray table, the seat pocket contents, and the legroom is just acceptable for me. I'm 5'8", tall by the way. But people who are taller will feel squeezed in. There is also an adjustable headrest, which makes it easier to sleep during the flight.
You may retrieve them anytime after takeoff. Please be careful when stowing these items as they might fall and injure you or the passenger seated next to you. Aisles, exits, and areas around your feet must be cleared. Smoking, including electronic cigarettes, is not allowed inside the aircraft. If you are seated next to an emergency exit,
it's way too dark outside to show you anything. That's why I do not like night flights. So, while we're climbing, let me show you the MyPal player app. You have first to download the app prior to your flight. Once airborne, you could turn on your phone's Wi-Fi and connect to MyPal, then open the app. You could view the flight map and stream some movies and TV shows, but that selection is really limited and is nothing to get excited about. There are only 10 movies and around 20 TV shows to choose from. That's how limited it is. Once the seatbelt sign was turned off, the flight attendant started working. A full meal was served on this flight together with choice of beverage. Alcoholic options such as red wine, white wine, and beer was also available. There was a choice for pork and beef and I got the pork option. It comes with bread and butter, kimchi as a side dish, and a piece of brownie for dessert. My beverage of choice was Pepsi. Also, midway through the meal, I discovered a Korean hot sauce but I didn't know to which dish I should put it and ended up not using it at all. Maybe it's for the kimchi perhaps? After the meal service, coffee, tea, or water was offered, and we still got a little over 2 hours left before we reached Manila. The cabin lights was turned off to allow passengers to rest, and I just stream a movie from my pal app to keep me entertained. I don't usually do a lavatory tour, but this time I will. I visited the lavatory prior to landing and was impressed by how clean it was given the number of people who use it during the flight. The lavatories is also stocked with the usual amenities. There are 3 bathrooms on this aircraft, one at the front exclusively reserved for business class passengers, leaving the 2 lavatories at the back for around 180 plus economy passengers to share. That makes for a long line of people waiting at the back of the plane throughout most of the flight.
머리 위 선반이나 좌석 아래에 보관하여 주십시오. 등받이와 테이블은 제자리로 해주시고 창문 덮개는 열어주시기 바랍니다.
We landed just a few minutes before midnight. So let's sum up this flight. This was a normal flight that I expected from Philippine Airlines. The boarding was organized with people lining up properly and proper announcements were made clearly. The seat was comfortable with the legroom just acceptable, but people who are taller than me will feel squeezed in. Given that it's a full flight, I still felt quite cramped sitting back of economy class. The food and taste was mediocre, but the portion is enough. They should really reinvent their meal service, especially on international flights with well thought of and full team meals, such as for example maybe having a Filipino or Korean option instead of the usual pork and beef option. Having an app to stream for this flight is okay, but the content of MyPal app is very limited, with just a handful of movies and TV shows to keep you entertained. So that's it for this flight report. We have landed at Terminal 2 by the way. Don't forget to show your support by subscribing to my channel and see you soon on future videos to come. Bye!